My cousin claimed she got pregnant from a swimming pool. Her parents demanded $1 million from me to protect their perfect family image. When I refused, my uncle stabbed me to death. Then I opened my eyes and found myself back on the day she asked me to go swimming. Emma, my cousin Lily said, clinging to my arm the moment we got home. I already bought a new swimsuit. Today was so fun. Will you take me again tomorrow? Her voice was sweet and soft, the kind that made adults relax instantly. It made my stomach drop. I had been reborn. Just moments earlier, I'd felt a knife sink into my abdomen. The terror was still fresh, like ice pressed against my skin. In my last life, this was exactly how it started. After the college entrance exams, Lily suddenly became obsessed with swimming. She begged me every day to take her to the pool. I felt bad saying no, so I agreed to take her for a week. She behaved perfectly, polite, well-mannered, always smiling. Then after that week, she started throwing up non-stop. Her parents rushed her to the hospital. The diagnosis came back quickly. She was pregnant. The good girl of the Harris family had caused a massive scandal. My aunt, who cared more about appearances than anything else, pointed at me and screamed, "Emma Miller, you're disgusting. You dye your hair, you have tattoos, and now you've dragged Lily into your filthy lifestyle. She was the most innocent girl in the family, and you ruined her." My uncle crushed his cigarette in the ashtray and sighed like a disappointed saint. "Where? Family," he said. "I don't want this to get ugly. Give us $1 million. That will cover the medical costs and protect Lily's future. She's only 18. Don't destroy her life." In just a few sentences, they painted themselves as victims, and me as the villain. The amount they asked for was exactly the compensation money I'd received when my old house was torn down. I refused. I told them the truth. You cannot get pregnant from swimming. It's scientifically impossible. That's when my uncle snapped. He grinned, grabbed a kitchen knife, and charged at me. "If you won't give the money, then die. I've got a mental illness on record. The cops can't touch me." I died staring at him with hatred in my eyes. Now, standing in my living room, my heart pounded so hard it hurt. I looked at Lily, still clinging to me like nothing had happened, and kicked her hand away. "I'm not going," I said flatly. "I'm busy tomorrow." Thank God, I came back to this moment. I still had time to stop everything. "How can you be busy?" Lily didn't care that she nearly fell. Her face twisted with panic. "We were fine today, you promised. I didn't ask for a trip or a phone or anything expensive. I just want to learn how to swim. Can't you even do that for me?" The entitlement in her voice made my blood boil. She hadn't sounded this pitiful when she happily pocketed the $30,000 graduation gift I gave her. It'd never been close to her parents. My aunt was cruel and obsessed with status. My uncle had a violent temper. I usually kept my distance. The only reason I helped Lily was because my mom adored her and kept saying how sweet she was. Not anymore. I opened the door and pushed Lily outside. I said, "I'm busy. If you keep yelling, I'm calling the police for harassment." I shut the door and locked it. Through the peephole, I caught the flash of resentment in her eyes before it disappeared. In my last life, she begged me to take her swimming every single day. Looking back, that obsession was far too specific. Why that pool? Who was she really going to see? The next morning, I got up early and went to the place Lily had insisted on every time, Blue Wave Swim Center. I remembered clearly how I'd tried to talk her out of it before. The reviews were awful. People complained about sketchy staff and private rooms that shouldn't exist. Lily defended it fiercely, saying the reviews were fake and the coaches were amazing. Once I casually asked if she'd been there before. She stuttered and said a classmate worked there for the summer. I'd been driving and didn't catch the way her eyes darted away. Getting pregnant from a swimming pool made no sense. Even without chlorine, even without common sense, it was impossible. And yet the pregnancy test had been real. So what really happened? That's when I heard her voice. "Leo, are you here?" Lily had come alone. I ducked into a locker room stall and cracked the door open just enough to see. The girl everyone praised as modest and obedient ran straight into the arms of a bleached blonde guy and kissed him without hesitation. I froze. This was the same girl who buttoned her school uniform all the way up and pretended not to know what dating was. "I snuck out to see you," Lily said breathlessly, pressing herself against him. "I missed you so much." The guy laughed and wrapped an arm around her. He was one of the swim coaches. I recognized him instantly. "You're still young," he said smoothly. "I won't do anything. Unless you try to leave me. Then I'll make sure you can't." "I don't mind," Lily whispered. "I'm 18 now." My hands shook as I recorded everything on my phone. I finally understood. When I used to sit upstairs because I was afraid of water, this was what they were doing downstairs. This had been going on for a long time. The modest swimsuits I bought Lily always went missing. The ones she bought herself were probably closer to lingerie. In my last life, she'd come straight from this pool to my house at night. She used me as an excuse, telling her parents she was studying with me. I believed her. I covered for her. Not this time. I left quietly and called her father. I told him I hadn't seen Lily all day. That night, Lily knocked on my door until her knuckles were red. I didn't answer. She sat on the steps crying, looking like a helpless honor student. In my last life, those same tears convinced everyone she was innocent. Eventually, a motorcycle pulled up. The coach picked her up like a hero from a movie. They didn't make it far. Her father was waiting at the corner. Her father stormed toward them, his face twisted with rage. Lily. Who is this loser? He slapped her so hard she nearly fell. Get home now. People stopped to watch. Lily didn't move. Instead, she grabbed the coach's hand like a rebellious teenager in a bad movie. He's not a loser. You don't understand me. I'm sick of all of you. Chaos broke out. Her father swung at the coach. Lily screamed and tried to block him. The coach tried to shield his motorcycle, like it was more important than either of them. My aunt, watching her perfect daughter act like a delinquent, went pale, rolled her eyes, and collapsed on the sidewalk. I stood at the edge of the crowd, calm and detached. Let them tear each other apart. At 5 centimes, he next morning, my mom called me. Emma, can you come to the hospital? Something happened. When I walked into the ward, I saw my mom spoon-feeding Lily oatmeal. My uncle was sprawled asleep in my aunt's bed, snoring loudly. After my aunt fainted, Lily had conveniently passed out too. Convinced something was wrong with her mind, my uncle forced her to drink water, mixed with burnt paper and salt, something he found online, and it landed her in the Irans. They arrived, he dumped all the responsibility on my mom. My mom was the youngest daughter in her family, and had spent her whole life being guilt-tripped by her brother. He loved reminding her, if it weren't for me, or parents would have given you away. Everything you have is because of me. Normally, my mom would just smile and endure it. Not today, Mom. Your leg was injured 2 days ago, I said, pulling her up. You shouldn't be here. Let's go home. My aunt suddenly screamed and blocked the door. Emma, you're not leaving. How could you do this to us? You saw Lily being bothered by that man, and you refused to help her. You're heartless. The familiar trick. Twist the story until I was the villain. If Lily's future is ruined, my aunt cried. How are we supposed to face anyone? What kind of person are you? Lily started sobbing in bed. I was so scared. He kept following me. I knocked on Emma's door, and she wouldn't answer. I was confused and said things I didn't mean. I stared at her. I never realized how easily she could lie. Me uncle woke up then and sighed like a mediator. Emma, you need to take responsibility. Lily is meant for great things, not some low-paying job like yours. Your old house was demolished for a lot of money. Apologize, buoy Lily, a car, and well, move on. They didn't care about morals, they cared about money. I don't owe you anything, I said. I wasn't home last night. You're lying, Lily snapped. Your lights were on. Oh, I pulled out my phone slowly. Since we're talking about things I saw, how about a blue and white swimsuit in the locker room? Or a conversation with a coach named Leo? The room went dead silent. Lily's face drained of color. She knocked over her cup with shaking hands. I don't know what you're talking about, she whispered. I smiled. Then you must be mistaken about seeing me. She clenched her fists, staring at my phone. I was mistaken. I took my mom and walked out. Before leaving, I sent my uncle the hospital bill and an itemized charge for my mom's overnight care. Since you like to settle accounts, here's yours. A few days later, my best friend from the police station texted me, you won't believe this. We got a call about a couple behaving inappropriately at a public pool. She sent a photo. It was Lily and Leo. While Lily was sneaking around with him, my aunt was posting online about Lily learning classical music and preparing for stardom. I almost laughed. In my last life, it warned them about a fake talent scout who charged outrageous training fees. They accused me of being jealous. This time, I stayed quiet. Let them destroy themselves. On my mom's 60th birthday, the Harris family showed up uninvited. My aunt's eyes locked onto the designer bag on the table. Wow, she said, loudly. That must have cost a fortune. Your daughter sure knows how to waste money. My uncle snorted. She should have spent that on the family. Lily slipped back into her innocent act. Emma, making money isn't easy. You shouldn't be so careless. It's my money, I said calmly. If you want some, get a job. Or help my dog Max guard the house. At least he contributes. My uncle's face darkened, but he swallowed his anger. They hadn't come to argue. Me aunt turned to my mom. We need money for Lilith's special training. Just the price of one of those bags. Think of it as an investment. When she's famous, she'll take care of you. Emma's already 25, and still single. If Lily becomes a star, she can introduce Emma to someone decent. My mom hesitated. My aunt leaned in and whispered, not quietly enough, honestly, I think something's wrong with Emma. Why else would she refuse to marry? What happens when she's old and sick? In my last life, they tried to fix me by dumping salt water and cleaning supplies on my head, claiming it would wash away bad luck. This time, I grabbed a bowl of soup and dumped it straight into my aunt's face. 25 isn't old. You're the one acting unhinged. If you're so worried about who'll take care of me. Are you volunteering? She screamed. My uncle stood up. Emma Miller, you've crossed the line. Don't come begging us when you need help. I smiled and glanced at Lily's stomach. I won't. But you might want to start worrying about her. Time moves fast. Not long after, Lily secretly announced her relationship online. The first 18 years were for others. Now I live for myself. Blue tiles, not hotel rooms, forever. She forgot to block me. I saved everything. When exam results season came, the Harrises booked 10 tables at a restaurant to celebrate Lily's guaranteed admission to a top school. They even invited me just to humiliate me. Your cousin's going to an elite university. My uncle bragged. You should come, even if your own school wasn't. Impressive. Only 10 tables. I smiled. That's modest. I threw 15 when my dog recovered from a cold offended. My uncle upgraded the booking to 100 tables, and invited everyone he knew. Lily grew visibly pale. At the banquet, me aunt and uncle took the stage, lecturing guests about education and discipline, despite never finishing middle school themselves. Then they demanded, I check Lily's score live on the big screen. Go on, my uncle sneered. Let everyone see what a genius looks like. I hit enter. The number flashed large and bright, Arbai Wuxi. Out of 750, the room went silent. Well, I said into the microphone. That's consistent. Laughter exploded. My uncle lunged at Lily and slapped her so hard she fell from her chair. Useless. She suddenly started gagging. Oh no, he said loudly. She's throwing up. Is she sick? A doctor ID arranged beforehand stepped forward. Nothing serious. She's about 3 months pregnant. Congratulations. My aunt collapsed. The truth shattered everything. Lily screamed that the father was a rich heir. My uncle froze, already calculating. But the family couldn't hide the scandal anymore. A few days later, my mom came to my room and dropped to her knees. Emma, Lily can't register the baby under her name. It would ruin her. Could you put it under yours? He'll raise it, it won't affect you. I finally understood. In my last life, the knife my uncle used had come from my kitchen. My mom had brought it in herself. No, he said. Leave. I reported the harassment. My uncle was detained. When he got out, they smeared me online with an edited video. The internet turned against me. Then came the interview. When asked if I abused her, my mother nodded. That was the moment something inside me died. I released everything. Full footage, extortion attempts, pool videos, messages. The truth went viral. My uncle tried to attack me again, but the police were waiting. This time, his mental illness excuse didn't work. He died in custody from a heart attack before trial. My aunt was sentenced for extortion. Lily was abandoned by everyone. The coach disappeared with the money. She jumped from a bridge. On the day I moved my dance studio to another city, my mom came to see me. She apologized. Why? I asked. Was I not your child too? She had no answer. I left her enough money to survive and walked away. Life is big, pain fades. I didn't come into this world to beg for love. From now on, I live for myself.